Questions I want to ask you about songwriting. For one thing, you're just such a craftsman. The very fact that, I mean, like, where do you pull your inspiration from? Like, typical question, but sometimes there's situations where, let's say I'm driving in a car, and I don't know if they call it like a, a beta state or whatever, when you're driving and you're just driving, and sometimes the radio will be playing, and an entire other melody and lyric will come into my mind because I'm actually not thinking about it. It's like my
Sure.
mind is relaxing. Does that ever happen
Yeah.
to you as well?
Sure, of course.
Like when
Yeah.
there's so much noise going on, and yet out of all this noise, distractions, you're driving, the radio's on, people are talking, and you can hear this thing rising out, like, rising out of the ashes of like a phoenix, And I'm just
Mhm.
trying to figure out how that works and why it works.
Well, the subconscious is a great tool, for songwriting, for uh, and and to access inspiration too. And to really drop down into that subconscious mode, or to have access to that part of your creativity, you really do have to be relaxed in some way. And driving is a really great way to compose. I like to drive and compose in my head and try to remember without writing down what I'm composing in my head, so that the next time I get near my iPhone to record it, or to write it down, that it's already the rhymes are already solid. And uh and I if the melody is good enough, I'll remember it.
Yeah. Interesting. I remember something Paul McCartney just said recently. He said they didn't plan to write memorable songs. The fact is, they had no tape recorders. So the songs had to be good enough that they would remember them themselves,
Yeah, yeah, I know. I
which
know.
is, and it's true, the simplicity of it. Now we rely on, like you just said, the iPhone. I mean, if I'll have an idea, put it on my iPhone, or throw a microphone up in my studio quickly and run it by, and I'll come back 2 days later. I don't know what I've written,
Mm.
which is shameful. You
Yeah.
know, it's like
Well, it is a good tool, though, that if you have a decent melody and you have recorded it, and you can get back to it and learn it for what it was, then it becomes useful. But that thing of just playing the guitar, making some chord changes, and singing loud until you remember it, and that's your song. That's the way, She Loves You, yeah, 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 sounded like. It's
yeah,
just we made up a song,
yeah,
you know. And Hank Williams was like, his music to me was like that. It was so immediate, you know.
yeah.
Today I passed you on the street and my heart fell at your feet. Well, you didn't spend a lot of time conjuring up that image. You just started singing it. Might have spent a lot of time writing that last verse.
Right.
But, here's what I say about it. When I was a young man in my 20s, sometimes I was capable of catching lightning in a bottle. And in my 20s, inspiration would come in big doses. And one of the challenges that I faced was getting it all in that first burst. And sometimes I was successful. I got Ain't Living Long Like This kind of all in the first burst of creativity. But there are other songs, Till I Gain Control Again was like that. But other songs, I had to learn how to make that last verse as good and as solid and as free as the first verse and chorus that came just out of the blue, the gift from out of the blue, to cobble together a last verse that stands alongside the gift from out of the blue, if you know what I'm saying.
Right. Right. Yeah. So do you ever take a break from writing? And if you do, is it hard to get your chops back? Because there's a rhythm that you have when you're writing. Because I mean, even like I'm a real fledgling writer, but like I noticed that when I am writing, I get better ideas. Like, let's say I'm working on a project where I need to write a number of songs. I find they connect the dots with themselves. Like, because my brain is already in that mode, ideas come better and quicker.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is that the same thing with you? Do you find when you take a break, did you come back like with that lightning in a bottle attitude, or does it take you a while to get it back?
Lightning in a bottle, at the age I am now, the years that I've been doing it, I don't get my inspiration from lightning in a bottle now. I get my inspiration from dedication to the work.
Yeah.
So I don't take a break from writing. What I do is sometimes I go on the road, touring for extended periods of time, which most of the time I'm not writing then. But one thing I trust about it is that night after night, I'm singing 20, 25 songs. So I am using that part of my subconscious mind and my creativity to play these songs that I've written for people. And so when I come in off the road and I get back here in my studio and get back to work writing, I've been writing the whole time.
Right.
So I never take a break from writing, and I do not acknowledge writer's block. I don't give it.
Explain that.
I don't give it. I don't give it any power. I just simply do not acknowledge that there is for me a such thing as writer's block. What's happening is the reservoir is filling up and organizing itself so that I can access what needs to happen, and I carry on. I don't have writer's block, even if I'm not writing.
Hey, thanks for joining us. Check out our other vignettes and full episodes from a wide variety of guests for more great content. Please like, share, and subscribe, and become a member at SocialNRGpresents.com to access premium content and earn valuable energy points just for watching.